you think the Bucks are destined to blow a 3-1 lead at some point in the playoffs
I
now?
don't know if they blow a 3-1 lead, but I know if they run into this man, it might be a problem, and it'll be ironic if they lose to Embiid and those boys in the playoffs this year, seeing how Doc was once there. So, definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out. While we have the picture up of Embiid here, salute to Embiid. Also, somewhat salute to Karl-Anthony Towns also played
somewhat,
70, but he lost. So to the Hornets,
65 or something, yeah.
Or he put up how many? My bad.
I think like 65.
70.
Embiid at 70,
and then Cat had 65. So they both were cooking. Definitely great on the anniversary of Kobe. 18 years now since Kobe dropped 81 himself. Dropped it to have them both cook to that extent on his day definitely was amazing. Any thoughts on their performances?
Yeah, it was crazy. That was wild when they pointed out that it was like to the day that Kobe had got his. I got my poster back here of Kobe getting his 81 back in 2006. But yeah, I mean, that was incredible to see from Joel Embiid. People are going to talk about the amount of free throws he had, but he shot like 24 of 41 from the field as well too. Like, come on, man! Like,
how you get it?
He had nearly 50 points like without the free throws as well. So, it was sensational performance from him. You can't really take it away from him that it was against the Spurs because 70 is 70, and they won the game.
Right.
And they only won by 10. Like, it was a competitive game too. So, salute to Embiid. He's been an MVP candidate this season. When he's been healthy, he's been the best player in basketball for my money. So yeah, I think if he can remain healthy and play 65 games, I think it's his MVP to lose, as great as Shea has been. He's been the best player in basketball, and it's incredibly impressive for a big man to getting 70 in this era of basketball. Of course, Wilt got them fake numbers back in the day when he was towering over everybody.
I think we all have retired that stat. We won't believe it until we see it. The fact there keep on being new clips of Wilt all over the place, of him walking on the street and him in the random gym in the middle of the summer. All right, bro, you were in a real NBA game. We don't have footage you talking on it. So
they had
we respect it, but we're retiring that stat. 81 is the marker for right now. So
they had on MLK Day, they had a picture of like Wilt in color, like walking with MLK. They're like, we got pictures of Wilt doing everything but scoring 100 points in this game, man. Like, where's the footage? Show us.
Enough's enough, man. Somebody holding up. It's ridiculous. So yeah, until then, 81 is the marker. And to that point, seeing what Embiid and Cat just did on Kobe's anniversary, will we see someone pass Kobe's 81 points soon? We've seen in the past. We also saw Devin Booker play up 70 at one point, I believe it was. I think Mitchell had a 70-point game or a 65-point game, something like that.
Yeah.
So we've seen a few guys put the ball in the basket. Will we see it? And you can even say who you might expect to do so.
Well, we saw Cat try to chase it and lose the game for Minnesota. I don't know. 81 is tough, man. Yeah, correct, Matt. Dame did too. Dame hit 70 just last year as well, I believe. It was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was like those three guys hit it last year, but 81 is tough, man. That's a lot of points. Like it's a lot of points.
Slower era too. Like in this era, he might have got that would have been 100 possibly without the basket play compared to back then. So to do that back then with the defense being a little bit tougher, how you want to describe it, but it was a different game back then compared to now.
Yeah,
for him to do that back then, we were in awe back then, and now as things progress, you look back and you're even more in awe. Like, how did he do that back then with how things operated? So yeah, definitely salute to him always.
Yeah, that's like you said, that's going to be the marker for sure, because that's real tough to beat. We've seen a few guys get 70 now, but no one's touched 80 yet. So 81 is going to be tough.
Yeah, we'll see. I think those guys we already have mentioned will be the guys that might push for it again somewhere down the line. I can't really think of any other shooters like that. I will say we haven't seen. People have pointed out it's been, and it might be too late still at this point, but we haven't seen KD put up over 60 points in the game yet. So if he finally gets hot one day, who knows if he goes for it. Wemby in this new era with how he puts the ball in the basket, able to put the ball in the basket on all levels. If this is now the wave, I think it's very well could be the way he does it. Yeah, W was number 14 to have total 81,
Right.
as Matt said. So for Kobe to do that as an individual, yeah, just adds more to the lore and the reason we praise him as we do. So yeah, W salutes to him. And yeah, I don't know, but maybe one of the guys you already kind of see rising will be the one. Maybe Luka one day goes for it and puts up 81. He definitely has a game that could get it done.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Definitely gonna be a lot of fun stuff going on. Love that the NBA has evolved and seeing how guys put the ball in the basket. Definitely have. As I said, I was, for whatever reason, maybe because he was playing against Harden for a moment, and back then I wasn't the biggest fan of Harden when he was for the Sixers. But seeing what Embiid has continued to become, he has really started winning me over recently, and he definitely had my praise. I know we kind of debated who would be MVP, but either way, rooting for Embiid to continue to do his thing and build upon what he's been doing with the Sixers for some time there. So
the main thing,
right? Yeah.
I was gonna say the main thing for him is going to be advancing to Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I mean, we know what he can. We know what he can do now, and he's doing it night in, night out in the regular season.
Correct.
So it's going to be being healthy for the playoffs, staying healthy, and elevating. I guess if he can, he's playing at an MVP level, but elevating in the playoffs and getting them to a Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, a team that usually is in the way for all these East squads. We think about the Bucks and now the Sixers and folks of the like. Yeah, just teams trying to find their way. The Heat always find a way to stir things up. They did it again. They just added Terry Rozier to the mix, and want to just mention that in the midst of this conversation. Yeah. You think the Heat find a way to do it again now with Scary Terry on the roster?